Bob Huggins right now, batting zero in all of those, Alex. Bob Huggins went on a radio show last
Yep.
week with the Cincinnati, I'm pretty sure it was a local or a regional Cincinnati radio show. In my estimation, I'm going to say this, and y'all can say, I think he got baited into saying something, and then he went the absolute wrong route that he could have gone, and saying an unforgivable anti-gay slur, not once but twice, in reference to Xavier and the fan base. And
How
I
do you
think the
get
school
baited into
itself.
saying it twice?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he got baited into saying something inappropriate, but he's the one that guided it to what he said. Like
Yeah.
I listened to the interview, and it was definitely it was supposed to be, I think the interview was supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be like a jab between Bob Huggins, used to coach Cincinnati, and these guys who were trying to play the Xavier part, and they were trying to get him to say bad things about Xavier, and he's the one that took it into the, one of the worst ways possible, into how he was going to say something poor about Xavier. So all on Bob Huggins on what he said, but I think he was baited into saying something negative.
Yeah. I
So
will, I will say I think that WVU did. I know I feel like I'm going to catch hell for this, but I will say that I support the choices WVU made as far as if you're not going to fire him for this. They made a lot of punishments that involve educating, promoting better choices, promoting communities on campus that would be negatively affected by that kind of language. Like they took $1 million out of his salary, but it's not just going back into like some general pot. It's going directly to WVU's LGBTQ like on campus presence so that they can use it for good. So I mean, I've heard a lot of people be like, yeah, he should have been fired. And like it was really bad. But I am glad to see that at least I never expected WVU to fire him, to be honest. Like didn't. And I think that they did the next best thing.
as Alex said, well, he quickly issued an apology, which you expect that after you realize, oh crap, I screwed up. They reduced the salary by $1 million, which Alex said where that money is going, and he's now on a year-to-year contract reassessment as opposed to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
He also has to complete sensitivity training, which is just par for the course when you do something like this. What's that really going to do? It's going to make him realize, oh yeah, I was dumb.
So because of it, basically they're partnering with their LGBTQ plus center and doing annual training sessions, not just for him, but for all of the coaching staff. I think like all the athletic coaches of everything now and in the future. And so I think it's at least a little more than them. And they're also partnering with like the ACLU and stuff to promote the issue, basically promote conversation involving the like athletic departments and them as how they can fix issues throughout the state. I know he has to meet with like the mental health crisis center and learn more about those resources and promote those things. So hopefully some good comes out of it as far as incorporating the athletic departments as well as those organizations.
I'm
He
gonna
also
go
got
on.
suspended for the first 3 regular seasons games.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a right turn for a second.
Okay.
Glad that they've
For
done
NASCAR,
everything.
a left turn.
Right.
Or just a right politically turn.
My question is, and stop me if you'd like. The guy gets on a radio show, right? And if he's truly baited, as Muff is suggesting, he says it not once but twice. I'm sure the radio hosts were laughing. Nobody.
When he said that, they kind of stopped. We're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? We wanted you to say something dumb, but you went way too far,
Really
buddy.
got dumb.
But like he was trying to do it to be a part of the routine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is why I say he was baited, because
I'm not going to sit here and say that this was the man's intentions or this is the man's thoughts, but in an era where you're trying to appeal to recruits all of the time with transfer portals and NIL, and you're trying to be on kids' levels, and you have the quote unquote locker room talk that is so in nowadays to say, oh, it's locker room talk, it's locker room talk. And I believe we all know that locker room talk, in quotes, wink, wink, ignorant shit is said in a locker room,
Mm-hmm.
right? The punishment of we're going to have our coaching staff and our athletic department leadership go to these sensitivity trainings and this sensitivity trainings, where I'm going to go with it, where people are being educated at the coaching level, to me, is only half the problem. Shouldn't we not rope in the teams, as in the players, so that maybe the locker room talk, where this guy finds it to be acceptable to say these things, it's got to be said in that locker room. Can't we curb it like everywhere? Because I don't think this guy's saying ignorant shit in coaches' meetings. I don't think he's saying it in athletic department meetings. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not going to say that he's not saying it in heated moments in like the locker room. I'm not going to say that he's not. I'm not going to sit here and say, because I don't know.
Sure, but I don't think he's sitting there with the volleyball coach and the wrestling coach and the golf coach saying stupid shit. But I will go far as to say that he's probably sitting around with his team, hearing it and saying it. Isn't that more likely?
I think it's more likely, yes, in an environment that you're in every day with people you feel comfortable and you know where the boundaries are, that you're more comfortable saying something that's not something you should be saying in a public forum. I don't disagree with that. You just
locker
said,
room talk,
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we get the guys out of the locker room and send those people to training too? That's my only thought on this.
You're talking about the coaches or players?
The players. Bring the players with him. Wouldn't that be a good step?
Players haven't been caught yet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Sure, but we're gonna have the whole athletic department at the coaching level go. Okay. Take the teams. Make it a campus-wide athletic department thing.
Well, maybe the basketball team will be joining him.
I think they should. I think that's a step they should make.
If $1 million is going in part to LGBTQ community, like a pride group or something like that, WU's campus, then maybe part of Bobby sitting there saying, "Hey, everybody's coming to this event. Everybody come to this. This is something we're all going to do as a team. Like you can call it like team bonding or team building experience." So
that's what I would do. That's my only suggestion. All of this.
I don't think it's a bad one.
Let's get rid of this locker room talk thing that is prevalent in America.
I think it's prevalent probably all across the world.
Probably.